Okay, bro. So since we are done with conditions and loops, it's time now to move on to our next topic, which will be arrays and collections. Okay, arrays and collections in Java. Let's start first with um, arrays. We're gonna talk today about arrays. So let me share my screen with you. We'll read some definitions together and then we'll start live coding. And we'll start to implement some simple examples with arrays. Okay.
Sounds good.
So, bro, you see my screen now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Okay.
very
Great,
big.
great, great. So, as I told you, we're gonna talk about arrays and collections. And first, we're gonna talk about arrays. So, the simplest definition for array in Java is an object contains elements of a similar data type. You remember data types
Mhm.
like
Yep.
primitives, non-primitives. Primitives are int, long, float. Can you continue? Can you remind me of all primitive data types?
Yep. Float int. Um, what else? Uh, int float. Fuck.
It's okay, don't bother yourself. Like int, float, double, long, and
Yeah,
so
double
on.
long.
Boolean, yeah, and so on. Okay, so array is an object, contains elements, multiple elements. Okay, all of them are of a similar data type. Okay, like this array can contain 5, 6, 500 elements, whatever. Okay, all these elements are, for example, from integer, from int data type, or from float data type, or from string data type, whatever. Okay, all of them should share the same data type. Okay,
Mhm.
again, it's sort the array elements are sorted. Okay, in a contiguous memory location. Okay, you understand? They're all in
Yes.
a row. Like it's a bulk of memory. Okay, allocated to store the elements. Okay, of array. You understand?
Yes.
All coming in a row in a memory. Okay? Okay, let's
Okay.
go to our next point. Array in Java is index based. Okay? And of course, we start counting from 0. So first element of the array is sorted at the index of 0. Okay, second element has the index of 1, and so on. Third element has the index of 2. We always start counting from 0, not from 1. Okay?
Yes.
And using this index, we can access the elements inside the array. Okay?
There's two. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Uh, Last point, it's telling us we have two types of array, single and multi-dimensional array. Mainly, we'll focus on single array because it's the one commonly used. and it's simpler somehow. We don't need to dive deep in some complex topics like multidimensional arrays. So mainly we'll be talking about single arrays, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Let's know more about advantage and disadvantage of arrays. So regarding code optimization, it makes the code optimized. We can retrieve or sort the data efficiently. It's very easy for us to access the data inside the array. Also, it's easy to retrieve or sort the data inside. Okay. Also about random access, you can get any data located in array using its index. So using index, it's easy for us, okay, to access data at any location inside the array, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. What is the disadvantage is the size limit. We should give a limit for the array size. It cannot be dynamic, okay, to our depending on our data. No, its size, it's not dynamic. It has fixed limited size. Okay, so this is the only, let's say, only limitation that will irritate us dealing with arrays is the size. It's not dynamic, it's fixed, okay, and it's limiting us when we deal with some complex uh, projects or complex programs where we don't really uh, sure about what size we should give to our array. This will make somehow our life a little bit hard. That is a disadvantage of array. We can store only the fixed size of elements in an array. It doesn't grow its size. It's not flexible at runtime. Okay,
Okay. The growth is-
you understand?
Yeah.
And of course, we're gonna take some examples now to make all these ideas more clear to you. Okay. That's all about arrays, about the theoretical part. Let's now move to the code, okay, and see some live examples. So here I open IntelliJ. Let's close all this. Here I will create a new package. We'll call it arrays. Here inside arrays, I will create a new class. I call it array example. Okay, here inside our class, I put my main method. Okay,
Okay.
what you are familiar with is, for example, if I want to store an integer value, I will create integer variable like this, int x, okay, and then I give the value of, for example, 5, right? And then
Yeah. And
if I have another value of 7 and I want to store it, okay, I will create another variable. For example, I call it y, and then I initialize y by 7, and so on and so on. Okay. What if I want to store 5, 7, even more, 8, 9, 10, all of them, okay, in the same object? What I'm gonna do? Like I cannot,
array.
I cannot come here and say 5 and then 7, and then 8. Of course, it's not possible, right? I'm only allowed to store one value here inside this X or Y or Z or whatever. So here, the only solution is to use arrays. Arrays allow me to store multiple values. Okay, so how can I declare and initialize arrays in Java? First, as we said a while ago, we should specify data type, okay, to the array. That will tell us the data type of all elements inside this array. So here I'm storing integer values. Okay, so I will give data type to my array as integer. Good. Okay. Then I should give a name to my array. So for example, I will call this AR. Okay, to tell that this one is array. Okay. Now I should tell the compiler that this object is an array because now it's only an integer value, normal integer value, the same as X and Y, only the name is different. The different is array. So how can I tell the compiler that this one is array, not a normal variable? Here, like between the name and the data type, I will put these two brackets here, two angle brackets, right after the data type, in between the data type and the name. This way, I tell the compiler that take care. This array is an array of the type array, not a normal variable like this X and Y. Okay? Okay, good. This one is called declaration. This part is array declaration. Okay, what about initialization? As you know, initializing means that I assign value to this variable. Okay? Now I will move to initialization part. I will say array equal new, using new keyword. Okay. Int array. Okay. And as you can see here, it gives me an error, a red line. Do you know why? Like here, somehow I'm partially done with the initialization, but there is something missing. Can you guess? Can you guess what is missing?
You have to add the content inside in the brackets. Yeah, add the inside the
yes. Here, just before we forget, it's array initialization. Initialization. Yes. Okay. So here, as we just said a while ago, when we were talking about advantage and disadvantage of arrays, okay, that arrays has only fixed size, okay, like at the time of initializing an array, we should give it a size. We must, okay, give a size to our array, okay, during initialization. This way, we didn't give any size. That's why it's like complaining, like array initializer expected, like something here is missing. Okay, so how we're gonna set a size to this array? We have two ways to do that. First way is to give direct values to store inside this array. And number of these elements or number of these values will be our array size. Like for
X
example,
and Y, right?
For example, to continue the initialization. I will make like this. I will put two curly brackets, okay? And then I will put the values inside they want to store in my array. So here I will put 5, 7, 8, okay? Just an example. So how many values are there here in my array? You hear me?
Yep, I can, yeah.
Okay, so how many values are there?
3 values.
Yeah, 3 values. This means that my array has a size of 3.
And you can't change it.
Yeah, because it holds 3 values. It means this array size is 3. Okay,
Right.
that's my first way, okay, to initialize an array. Now let's create a new array, another array, okay? And before I forget, I will put the 2 angle brackets, and it's also from the type integer. Now I will call it my array. I give it a different name. My array, okay? And, this time I will do the declaration and initialization on the same line. So here, say equal new array, int array, okay? And then I put my semicolon. And again, I have a red line expecting something that is missing, which is again the size. We didn't specify size for this array. But this time I will doing it with a different way. Second way is if I'm not sure like what values I'm gonna store here in my array, like in my first line on line number 9, I was sure that I want to store 5, 7, and 8 only. In some cases, I will not be sure about the values that I'm gonna store in this array. Like I only know that I will be needing an array to store some values, but still I don't have access to these values, so I cannot initialize my array using this type, this way. I should be wait somehow until in somewhere else in my program, okay, where I have access to the values that I'm gonna store in my array. Okay, by that time only I can store values in my array. But now I still don't have access to these values. I still should give a size to my array. So how I'm gonna do this? Here inside these 2 angle brackets, I should write the size that should be assigned to this my array. Okay. For example, I will put 6. So here I specified my array size to be 6. Okay. Later on, I can put my values inside my array. Okay. Like for example, let's assume that here in this part I will do some coding to get my values that I want to store in my array. Now I'm done. I have the values already and I want to start storing these values inside the array. How I'm gonna do this? It's very easy. Using the index. You remember that all elements inside array are sorted with index, and each element has an index. And from the slides we were reading, This first element has an index of 0. This second element has the index of 1. This third element has the index of 2, right?
Right.
Okay, good. So I will do the same way here. I will say my array and two angle brackets. Inside the two angle brackets, I will put the index where I want to store my value. So here, for example, I will put 0. Okay. Then equal, which means I want to put inside the index 0 in my array the value of 3, for example. Okay. Again, I should do the same way in the other index, like here in the index of 1. I want to store
all the way to 6. All the way to 6, right?
Value of 9. Sorry?
All the way to 6. 6 is 6, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6. Isn't there 6 slots?
Just wait and you.
There's 6 slots.
Just wait and you.
Okay.
Okay. Here, index 2. Value of, okay, let's leave it 3. Here, index of 3. Let's give it value of 15. Okay. Here, index of 4. Give value of 2. Finally, index of 5. We give it a value of 4. Let's count how many elements are there, okay, to make sure if this sort of index is correct. So how many elements we have now in my array? Can you count?
7.
How many?
7.
7? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4. Oh, 6.
6.
6. Yeah,
like
yeah,
1,
6.
1,
Yeah,
2,
15.
3, 4, 5, and then 6, right? And if you remember, here we put the size of our array as 6. Okay, so it's allowing us to store all these values normally. But I can't do like my array index 6 value of whatever. This is not possible. This line is not possible. Why? You tell me why it's not possible.
This line is not possible. 6 because it's 0 to 5. 0 to 5. It's not 6.
Because we already exceed the size of our array.
Yeah. Yeah, we can change it.
Yeah, we already exceed my array size, which equals to 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I edit this, I make it 7. Okay, by that time, I can add this line. Okay, but since our size of my array is only 6, okay, I can store only 6 elements, not 7, not 8. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing I want to tell you is that I should it's flexible, okay, to access this index, okay, before this index. Like it should not be sorted. No, it can be unsorted. Like I can put 3 before 1 and 2. I can access any index at any place inside my code, inside my program. Okay? No problem with it at all. You understand?
Yep.
Okay, good. So one more I want to tell you. Most probably you will be using a for loop with arrays and lists and all. Like what if I want to retrieve all elements inside array? What I'm gonna do? Like here we have my array, right? Okay, what if I want to retrieve back all these values? What I'm gonna do? Like I want to retrieve all these elements one by one. How can we do this?
Through an array?
Our easiest way is to use for loop. Okay, we'll be looping on this my array. Okay, and then we will access each element inside this my array using the index. Okay, so I will start creating for loop. I will inside my for loop I will create index equal 0. We agreed that all index are counted in Java starting from 0, not from 1. So here index has an initial value of 0, and since or as long as index is less than my array length, okay, the length of my array, okay, then I index plus plus. Okay, so here we'll be counting index starting from 0, okay, until index reach the last index inside my array, which is 5. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Inside our for loop, for the sake of simplicity now, we'll only put a print statement, okay, saying that value in my array at index. And then we put our index. Here equals 2. And then here how we're going to access the value inside my array. I will say my array, okay, and then angle brackets, and inside the angle brackets I will put index. This way I can access the value inside my array at a certain index. If it's 0, it will retrieve the value 3. If it's 1, it will retrieve the value 9. If it's 2, it will retrieve the value 3, and so on. Let's run the program and try it if it's working or not. Let's run. Look, value in my array at index 0 equals to 3. Please compare this output, okay, with the one we declared here. 0, 3, 0, 3. Value in my array at index of 1 equals to 9. Here, value of my array at index 1 equals 9. At index 2 equals 3. At index 2 equals 3. At index 3 equals 15. Here, at index 3 equals 15. At index 4 equal 2. At index 4 equal 2. At index 5 equal 4. At index 5 equals 4. Okay? You understand?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to forget this syntax. Like here, using this syntax, we access the values inside my array. Okay? Please don't forget this syntax. Also, also this syntax is to assigning values inside my array. And here, these two lines, okay, is telling you how to declare and initialize a new array. Okay, please don't forget all this. Do you remember when we were talking about Java for loop, and we passed by something called for each loop, and we said we will discuss it later when we talk about arrays. Do you remember? For each is a special type of for loop, okay, that make us do the iteration of arrays more easily. So let's have an example of for each loop example. Here I will make 4. Okay. Here I want to loop on my array. And my array is of the value integer array. So all elements inside this my array are integer. So here I will create a variable from type integer. I will call it value. Okay. And then I will put 2 columns like this, sorry. 2 columns like this. And then I say my array. Okay. Then I will print value. Okay. Can you guess what is the output of this for each loop if I run my program?
Value, array value. The value of it.
Look. 3, 9, 3, 15, 2, 4. Do you know what? Where did we get all these values?
From your assigning.
It's the same values stored in our my array. 3, 9, 3, 15, and then 2 and 4. Okay. It's exactly doing the same work as this for loop, but it's like more tidy, easier to use, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. One more point I want to tell you that integer can be from any data type. Like here, we used in this example, we used integer data type, but it can be any data type. Like, for example, I can make it even non-primitive data type. Like, I can have array of strings here, and I call it string arrays. And this string array, I can give it values like Michael. Cody.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those before, yeah.
Java. And so on. So this array can be from any data type, primitive or non-primitive data types. All are accessible, okay, can be used by array, okay. But we cannot here, in a string array, we cannot put value of integer or value of Boolean, like true or false. We cannot. Why we cannot do this?
String value.
Yes, exactly, because it's of type string, so all values stored in this array should be from the type string. Same here, up here in our array, it's an integer array, so all values here stored should be from the integer value. We cannot put any other data type. Like here, for example, if I try to put string, it will give me an error. Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, cannot be done here. Is it all clear?
It's very clear.
Do you have any questions about array?
Multi-dimensional.
Multi-dimensional, we're not gonna talk about it in the meantime, like maybe later. But as I told you, mainly we focus on single array, not multi-dimensional, because of course it will make you confused. We should we should avoid it in the meantime.
Yeah.
What else do you want to ask about? Feel free to ask whatever questions you have.
Is there faster?
What?
Is there a faster way? You know, in the in the beginning, is there a faster way to like? Is there
It's fast.
a faster way to
it's
initialize?
very fast. It's very fast.